Hello friends, in this video we're gonna talk about curve following in how to animate character while moving on the curve. In this scene I have okay, let me first explain why this is needed and in what situations you can use this features. For example, if we make it this type of animations, curve following animations, can be utilized, for example, on prone animations. During prone, you cannot animate prone in a classic way inside of the Unreal Engine. You have to animate it by root motion, and this prone already has root motion on 0.7 meters forward, and we need to retarget this root motion to allow character kinda go in this direction, and of course it should be also done in this direction as well. So I made the curve for that. This is the curve, and this is a curve and circle, Bezier circle. This is how it looks like inside. And also there is a few things that you need to know. You just need to scale. You just need to see the origin of the circle. Origin of the circle is on the broad origin right now, and circle itself is scaled. Actually, I don't know what radius should be in this exact case. I just scaled it to this radius, and this is the radius that I'm using. That is it. I don't actually know. 6 meters, I think. So inside of this, we can see that path has a wrong direction, and it will show us that character will move in this direction instead of moving this direction. Also, let me just make some. Okay, I already pinned it. Okay. Wait a second, let me just remove this whole path. We will see it later. And let me make it like this, just to show you how to handle all the problems that can come from this kind of following path constraint. Yes, we're gonna use the constraint that will stick our character's root ball. This is the root ball that has the animation right now. We're gonna stick this root bone to the curve to follow this path. And also I should say that there is literally no other way of making it, because placing this root bone on a path manually is very annoying and also not precise. But if we do it even with this interpolation kinda circular, I don't know why, but circular interpolation works, but it not works as it needed, so it doesn't allow you to recreate this path. So the only way is to snap ourselves to this curve. So let's assume that you created and added curve to your scene. This curve not exactly should be the circle that I have here. I'm just making arch animation, so I added the circle. But your curve can be like anything. But in this exact case, we're gonna work with the circle. So follow path constraint, place it in here. So first we need to select the root bone. A root bone allows you to move the entire character body. It's not the rig bone, it's the root bone. This bone is also kind of on the Rigify rig has this bone, and our rigs, almost our rigs has this bone. So just select it, go to the constraint, but not these constraints. There is two types of constraints, and these constraints applies to the volley object. There is also a flow path, but these types of constraints are used for the volley object. So you can use them when you animating some static objects like cubes, like something like that. But and here we have selected bone, our bone, and we have selected and we have bone so we have to go to the bone constraints and add bone constraints and follow path. Then we just should select the path, and it will immediately move our character to the circle beginning. And since, as you can see kind of seen in my previous action, I just moved the circle start to this position, just to show you what problems can be kind of be with this curve. So to return everything back, we can just move it like this. And also do not forget to kind of go to this and press animate path. Without animating the path, it won't work properly. So you just press this button and it will start to work. Also right now, if we animate it, we can see that our character first of all doesn't follow the curve exactly. We can follow we should check the follow curve thing here, and also we should kind of make him follow in this direction instead of the opposite one. So we're gonna go to the curve, select all, go to the segments in here and switch direction here, or we can go F3, switch direction, segment, switch direction, and direction is changed now. If it kind of creates this, we can also scale as y minus 1. We can do it like this, and as x minus 1 we can do it like this. Let's just put this inside of here, and again switch the direction. Oh, okay. It seems something is wrong. R V S y minus 1. Here we go. After a few manipulations, you can achieve your result. It's if you can't achieve the proper results, you should go to the constraint itself. I just forgot, and select here minus y. That's all, and it will move your character along the curve. Since our root bone already has root motion, let's duplicate it and bulk F arch L, I think. Let's save it. Since our root bone already has root motion, we should get rid of that root motion because it will be taken from the curve itself. And also you can notice that inside of the 30 frames we move very fast on the curve. So how do we fix this? Go to the curve, this icon. In here you have path animation thing. This path animation gets enabled when you press on constraint animate path. It just inserts keyframe to animate this path on the frame 0. Just insert it. So what we need to do is go to the curve and go to the path animation. You can select it manually and insert keyframe here, but I will not do that since I'm already did it. And we see here 100 frames. It means that inside of the 100 frames our character does the whole loop, like 100 frames, like full. It moves in the full loop. So okay, that is fixed frame. Okay, so this means that character makes one loop, and our root motion, as you can see, designed to be for 0.7 meters per 30 frames. This is the speed. So inside of the 30 frames we don't need to pass a random distance. We need to pass only exact distance, and this distance is 0.7 meters. So how do, or because otherwise, as you can see, our hands and legs will slide on the ground very huge. So how do we solve this problem? First of all, we need to install some add-on to get the curve. We need curve tools add-on here. I am already enabled it, and inside of the edit tab, we can go to the edit tab. We can go to the curve info, and this curve info thing allows you to press the length button, and it will give you the entire length of the curve in meters at this current moment. So we know that our character passes 0.7 meters inside of the per 30 frames, right? So our total curve length is 18 meters, or 18 meters and 16 centimeters. Let's say this is our total. So how do we count the frames amount, the total frames amount? So to do that, we need to just divide this to 0.7. It will give us the amount of the 30 frames inside of this, like so it will give us the number. Let's count that number. Okay, I already calculated it, so 0.7 divide to the 18.6 divide to 0.7, and the total amount of 30 frames here is 26 and 6, I think 26.6, and we should duplicate that. This is the amount of 30 frames inside of our scene, so we need to duplicate it to 30. 26.6 should be duplicated to the 30, and it will give us the exact amount of frames that we need to have. So if we 26.6 times 30 is 798, so it's just 798. So this is the entire amount of frames, so 798. This is the amount of frames, and and in this amount we're gonna pass exactly 0.7 meters, and we can see that our hand sliding is small right here, right? We can see that, and this is working. So our formula is correct. We can just erase it because I prefer to work with the annotation line. Okay, now let's go to our constraint, and let's think how do we bake this constraint to the bone. To do so, let's go to the item, and in item you can see that our location rotation is 0 right now. I have auto cane enabled, but it won't affect, so we need to press influence and disable and keep transform in here to this button, and we will see after pressing that button that our locational rotation will change. Let's press it, and now they are changed, but they not keyed yet. So let's key them. We keyed it and enable it again, but this will kinda make our character to move forward. So first of all, we don't need it. We don't need to make like this. We need to put the last keyframe. So let's go to the 30. Let's go to the 30. Let's put 1 and insert that keyframe, and it will work properly. So inside of the 10, we're gonna enable it again. Okay, it just doubles the distance. Okay, there is another way of solving this problem. We can just go set the influence to 1, go to the pose, exactly like in this location. Pause, where is it? Propagate, maybe, I don't remember exactly. Pause animation, bake action in here, and just watch the settings that I have. Start frame is 1, end frame is 30. We need visual keying, as you can see about these constraints applied in here in the tooltip. We need to clear constraints because it doesn't need it to us. Bake data, pause object, only selected bones. So if we press that, it will fill us our frames till the 30. Just press it. And here we go. And constraint is gone now. We can re-add it if we want, but we don't need it anymore. And our character moves on exact distance here in a new action. So we're gonna copy these keyframes, or we can just, this is a linear motion, we can copy it from the curve editor to be precise, and prone arch, I don't exactly remember which I'm using, because I'm experimented quite a lot with this. Valk F arch L, here we go, and insert that keyframes, just Ctrl V in here, and there we go, we have the animation that is baked. And our what left to do for us is just to keep this positions here. Okay, it's not out, just we need to select here, kind of deselect, I mean, we need to select this bone, we need to select everything. We don't need, as you probably think, maybe you can of course use this amount of the frames, but I don't think that it is necessary. Maybe it is even necessary, to be precise, but I actually don't think that this is a good idea. So let's deselect first frame, deselect fifth frame, and like that, so on. Just continue and delete the rest of them. It will create like almost this and make it linear, and now it is a linear and it moves as we need it. Starting from this, we can just go to the fifth frame, move it like to the proper distance in here. I don't quite remember what positions was in here. And we can just fix it like this. And this way, how we convert our motion inside of the, and there we go, we have frame 15. We can slightly rotate the hand, it's nothing. We need to preserve this line to keep very kinda like this. And then he just moves his hand up. So we need to track this hand instead. This way also you fix the legs. Wait a second. And here we go. Okay, and for the legs also the same thing. This leg is staying in place, so we make it to stay in place. Okay, let's leave it. Okay, here and in here. And make sure that your legs and hands has linear interpolation enabled. T, press here T and linear. T and linear. Why? Because our root is moves linear. And why exactly we use linear interpolation for root and hands? Because, well, this is because speed is a linear function. This is why. Speed is linear function, so to be to work inside of the game engine, to work with the speed values in animation, we need to have linear interpolation on the moving bones. It's not exactly like, for example, I can move, if I want very high quality animation, I can make this when the some bones are off because some distances are changed inside of the root motion, and that requires, of course, some fixing for us. Some fixing also, so we just maybe somehow fix it. Okay, let's mark it here. Rotate it like this, rotate it like this, and it will work. So once this leg goes up, we can make it Bezier. T, Bezier. It will more natural in this case, and also this is for this leg inside of these two frames Bezier. And we can also do the same thing for the hand, for this hand in this situation, like this, Bezier, and also in here, starting from 15. There we go. We have our prone arch animation. This is how this type of animations are done, as far as I know, or no, as far as I could to make it. Like I don't know how this type of animations are done in other software, but here this is how they are done. Maybe I should make this circle a bit smaller and recreate the whole action, because the rotation amount inside of this big circle is very small for the distance that I'm making the animation. But the main task of this video was just to show you how I do it, and maybe someone of you will just find this these suggestions useful. Okay, thank you for watching. This is everything.